Hey, it's Brad with Mash Audio Reviews. Today we're looking at the H6 Zoom recorder. This is a really great tool if you're a musician looking to record multiple tracks, or if you're out in the field maybe doing an interview. It has a lot of different applications that I'm sure that you can find use for in whatever medium you need an audio recording. So this is the unit right here. You can see the nice display that it has on it. So you can see the different tracks there. And so we'll be looking at the features of what this thing has to offer. Now, just at a high level, it's about 9.8 ounces, so it doesn't weigh that much. With 4 native ports, 2 on each side, and the ability for a separate capsule to attach to the top to give you 6 combo TRS XLR ports. It really is a compact unit and a very handy unit, and it sounds great. So let's talk a little bit more about what this has to offer, how it works. You can see this XY pattern mic, and it just attaches to the top. And this is a Zoom. I guess Zoom is kind of known for this type of mic. And then they just come off by clamping the 2 things on the side, and it comes off. It also comes with a mid-side mic. You can see that. And you can see how both of these, the XY pattern mic and this mid-side mic, each have their own gain knob. So that's kind of nice. It's kind of neat how they did that and just build it into the mic itself with that knob. It's kind of nice on the side. I don't know if you can see that, but on the side here it has these protectors so you don't accidentally just bump the gain to a different level. And you can see on top how it has left and right to show you just kind of like what's going on with the mix and how this is being picked up and that sort of thing. Here's a close-up of the other capsule that comes. The mic, or with the recorder rather. Comes with a pretty nice case. I mean, it's nothing to boast about, but it's a decent case. It's just a hard plastic case. Has 2 snaps up on the top and a nice handle. You can hold it by, it says Zoom on it. And as you can see, it's just a hard shell plastic case. And when you open it up, let me go ahead and do that. This is pretty much what it looks like on the inside. So you can see how it has some foam. And it can hold the unit itself with the 2 attachments that come with it. It also comes with a little USB cable. And then it also comes with these sleeves to put like the unit itself in, and then 2 smaller sleeves to put the capsules in. Okay, so let's go ahead and look a little bit closer into what the H6 handy recorder, as they call it, has to offer. Okay, so here's the different things that come with the Zoom recorder. I think the only thing that I don't have here is the USB cable that comes with it, but you can see here on the side it has the smaller USB, and then the other side is just like a normal USB 2.0 type of cord. Here we have our 2 capsules that came with it with the protectors for where they attach. These are the sleeves. It comes with a nice Zoom pop filter which goes over the XY pattern. You can see how it's kind of cut out for that pattern. I'm sure it could go over this as well. Yep, goes over that one just as nicely. So that's nice that they give you this and it has the Zoom logo on it, which is pretty cool. Got our case here, so let's go ahead and start looking at the unit itself. So as you can see, it has 4 native XLR TRS combo ports. Like I showed earlier on the sides, there's 2 there and then 2 on this side. They each have a gain knob 0 to 10, and they each have their own corresponding pad switch right here for each one to go down to -20 dB. If the source coming in is, say, very loud or too hot, you could just switch on that pad to -20 to bring that source coming in down. So that's pretty nice that you've got these 4. There are other capsule attachments that you can get for the top. I know that there's a shotgun mic. There's also another one that gives you 2 more XLR TRS combo ports. You just attach it to the top, and then there's 2 more that it gives you, which would give you a total of 6. Now, what about the recording formats of the Zoom H6 recorder? Well, it can do WAV or MP3. For waves, the sampling frequencies that it can offer are 44.1, 48, or 96 kilohertz, bit rates of 16 or 24. What about for MP3? Well, it can do 44.1 kilohertz, or bit rates of 48 up to 320 kilobits per second. Okay, as we mentioned earlier, the display is 2 inches, full color LCD, 320 pixels by 240 pixels. It's a really nice screen. The weight, 9.8 ounces. Dimensions, it's 3 inches wide by about 6 inches in height, and the actual depth is roughly 2 inches. It offers, for the 4 ports on the sides, mic phantom power. It can do 12, 24, or 48 volts per input, and you can turn each of those phantom power options, 12 up to 48, on or off per port. So you could say for this port, you could say, okay, I want 12 volts to be on. You could say on this port, I don't want any phantom power. On this one I want 24, and on this one I want 48. That's pretty cool. Now, as far as the outputs are concerned, you can see down here that there's a line out, and then there is also a headphone out. So it offers 2 outs, this line out or the headphone out, for various cases. For playback, it does have this mono speaker on the back. It's not the best speaker in the world, but it accomplishes what it's meant to. If you've made a recording and you just want to kind of hear it back just to make sure that it's, somewhat decent, or you got all the parts that you wanted, you can play that back through that. You just load up the thing, you select it, you press play, or you select it through the interface using your side buttons on the side here. And there's this volume control. You could bring it down or bring it up, and it will control the output of your playback. The battery life is great on this thing. It takes 4 AA's on the back here. Let me go ahead and open that up. So you can see that. I'm not going to actually take those out. But yeah, 4 AA's. You're going to get various results depending on the use of the recorder. I can say that 20 hours of life, depending on, how you're using it, is not unusual. So it definitely has really nice battery life. Okay, so if you were going to do a recording with this thing, so you've got L, R, 1, 2, 3, 4. The left and the right are for your XY capsule. Now, I believe I have to have this attached. There we go. For that to actually turn those on. And that would arm your stereo mic up at the top. And then for each of these inputs, 1 is 1 and actually has those labeled for you. 2 is 2, 3 is 3, and 4 is 4. And so you can arm any of those, and then at that point you can just press your record button and stop the recording, or press record again to stop the recording, and then you've got your recording. Now, there's a lot of different options within the interface, which I'm not going to get into, but just to give you an idea of what it has to offer, you can set per track a compressor, and there are a bunch of different compressors that it has to offer. These are just like preset compressor options that you could apply to the tracks. I generally don't apply any of those. There's also a limiter that you can apply to the tracks. It has like a 2-second delay, as where, like, if I was to press record and I was like, oh, I think I pressed it too late, then it actually is recording up to 2 seconds prior to when you actually press record, which is really cool. Now, another option that's really cool that the H6 recorder has is that whenever you do a recording, it's giving you a simultaneous recording in the background that it's doing at -12 dB. And so that's really cool if, you know, you accidentally brought in the signal too hot and you're like, oh crap, we're gonna have to scratch that track. Well, not necessarily. If you have that setting turned on within the settings, you know, you have that second copy of what you just recorded at -12 dB in those circumstances. And so your track's still good to use in your recordings. So I guess the last thing to mention is just that, I don't know if you can see it very well through my camera here, but each of these tracks shows you how hot the signal is coming in, and it really is a nice display. I just don't think my camera is doing it justice. And so it goes from green, and it just does a nice smooth transition into yellow, and then finally up to red, and it'll show you if you're peaking. It also shows if the track that you are currently using, or any of the tracks that it shows, which is all of them obviously, are panned. You can actually pan each track. Now you have to do that within the menu settings. And you know, I could show you the menu settings, but once you mess around with this thing for literally 2 minutes, you'll have it down. I mean, it's that sweet. You know, I've used a lot of different interfaces and recording gear, and a lot of it is very difficult to use, but you can just grab this thing and not even look at the manual, and I'm telling you, it's super easy to use. We've only looked at some of the features. It has a lot of features. I would just, you know, my verdict on this thing is if you are looking for an all-in-one solution, whether you're a musician, whether you're out in the field doing professional work like interviews, documentaries, you know, whatever it is you do in the audio world, if you're not running a major studio and you just want to get started and be able to record high quality recordings, you know, whether that's high quality waves or high quality MP3s, this thing is going to do it with no hassle at all. It really is a great unit. I believe it can also take an adapter and run power through an adapter. I have not done that. I'm pretty sure it does that. Don't quote me on that. Another nice thing is it has this mounting port right here, so you can mount that to a stand or to a camera or whatever it is that you may have, and that makes it really nice in those cases where you need it to be mounted to capture the best possible audio for your recording. That's the Zoom H6 handy recorder. You know, it's a great product if you're looking for an audio interface. This is a great one. You know, can interface directly with your computer through USB 2.0. It's really nice. There's no needed software. You just plug it in. It shows you all the files that this thing has on it. You record to it very easily just by plugging in your mic, pressing record. It puts the audio file on there depending on what settings you've configured. Has a really easy interface with the software through this nice LCD screen. The LCD screen looks great. And you know, it's really an all-in-one little studio for all of your needs. So I hope you'll check out this product. It's been a great addition to my studio, and I'm sure it'll be a great addition to your studio. Hey, this is Brad with MASH Audio Reviews, and I hope to catch you in the next one.